No, we won't. I can cut it out. And welcome to Little State Big Voices with myself, Shahida, and my fabulous co host, Tracy.
Hey y'all.
So we are back. Well, we were back last week, but we're
We're
really back.
back.
We're
We're
adjusting.
back.
And it's like the start of this Rhode Island summer, which I'm all here for.
It's so beautiful outside.
It is absolutely beautiful.
I
It
should have recorded outside. Like,
I started to. Yeah, I could have brought my. I got a little portable desk that I could have used, and I started to. But there's a lot. I'm like in between Mineral and Smith. There's a lot of noise.
I know
And
it could be a little loud. It might, I live across the street from a public park, so you never know. Ghetto activities can be taking place at any time. Plus, a lot of firecrackers today.
Mhm. And I have been out and about to start this holiday weekend. I went to yesterday to Ninegret Park.
What
I
was that?
hope,
I'm sorry.
I'm
What's the name of the park?
hoping I'm hoping it's spelled Ninigret. Ninigret? Ninigret? I'm hoping that's how you spell it. There were all kind of other ideas going in my head of how you should pronounce this, but so I went there yesterday to see the trolls, and it was my first time in Charlestown, Rhode Island, actually.
Right. So Rhode Island has a lot of cute little town names. So there's like Charlestown, which we have in Massachusetts, and then they have a Compton, a little Compton. But talk
Hmm.
to us about the trolls in Charleston. Can you explain to them that what the trolls are and how you were able to see them?
So,
So the
and
people,
we'll
and they've
definitely
been
have
seeing this on our stories. If you watch our stories, you'll know what Shahid is talking about.
and definitely I'll post the Projo story as well, talking about it, because it's this Danish artist, and I can't think of his name right off the top of my head, but he builds these large trolls for public spaces, and they're like 16 feet tall, and they're huge. And so my sister-in-law and I, we went down to Charlestown yesterday specifically to see this park, and she graduated with her master's. So I said, you know what, I'm going to treat you to lunch too. And it was really it was really fabulous. The very first one we saw is it's like this male troll, and he's like leaning up against a tree, and he just looks so enormous. And when I'm like driving up to like park the car, and you kind of like see him off in the woods, very
So
scary.
was he anatomically correct? How did you
N- Ma'am,
determine
no,
his gender?
no.
How
Well, you
why
know what?
engendering the trolls?
He had on clothes. He had on wood clothing, so he was
Okay, okay.
covered.
I'm
But
asking questions because I didn't go. I need to know. The audience is probably saying, "How did you know?"
I hope. I mean, there was no bulge, so there was. I felt bad for the troll. I felt bad for him. And then you walk up. I say like another maybe 10, 15 minutes, and then there's like a woman troll, and he has like branches as her hair, kind of like pulled back into like a ponytail. The detail, the feet, the legs, the arms, the eyes are a little scary because they're huge. And
The
they look
pictures were
like
incredible. Like, and then for
16 feet tall.
scale, the pictures that you sent, I was
Hmm.
like, okay, I definitely want to go. I sent it to a few people that I thought would be interested in going to because it honestly, it's good to have a little nature walk.
Hmm.
And that's one of the things that harkening back to like the TED Talks, the TEDx
Hmm.
Roxbury talks,
Oh
one of
yeah.
the talks was about being out in nature and how that's like something that is not it's not any particular race that deserves to enjoy nature. But for
Hmm.
me, I would enjoy it even more if there was some type of entertainment value along the way. And for me
Hmm.
to be able to walk and see all those trolls, I'm exercising, I'm not thinking
Yeah.
about whatever, but it's an opportunity to connect with nature because the sculptures are all wooden, correct?
All wood. Yep. Yep.
And you're in a wooded area.
Yep. The park is like it has like a small little trail, and then for the especially for the female troll, you kind of go off into like this wooded area, and then they have like these shells hanging down from the
Mm.
trees, so it just adds like a
I
mystical
got now.
effect
I
to
really
it.
want. I want to go in person because it looks just, the Instagram pictures that I've seen, and then your actual videos and pictures that you sent me yesterday. I was like, oh, I need to pull up on this. It looks really good. That's a good place to take people, especially if they're coming in from out of town and haven't been to Rhode Island before.
Mhm.
But especially living here or living in Massachusetts, where you're just a stone's throw away. You know,
Mhm. It
sounds like
it
a good job.
definitely is a night. I mean, we went, and I didn't even realize that Charlestown was like 55 minutes away from me. And
In Rhode Island,
yeah, it's 55
it
minutes.
must be on the border of another state.
No, it's next to Newport, not too far from Newport, but
Oh,
it's down there right on the ocean. So it's more of like
okay.
a beach town. Like I said, I didn't know anything about the town, and there were a lot of little shops that we wanted to stop at, but we were kind of on a timeline too. So we went to lunch at this place called the Clam Shack.
Mm.
When I say the I had shrimp, she had scallops, but they were fresh. And sometimes you know how it is. You go to these beach towns and they're right on the water and you're expecting your stuff to be
I
fresh,
wanna
fresh,
I wanna feel
and it's
like you just
frozen.
went out there and got my little scallops
That's
out the
how I
box.
want to feel. I want to see the name of your restaurant boat in the middle of the
A little bit of salt, a little bit of sea salt, now maybe even a little bit of sand
ocean.
in there. Like if
And
I'm
the
not crunching
scallops.
on some dirt, I'm like, how fresh is this?
Yeah, it was pretty fresh. It was really good. It was really good. So we had an interesting morning because we were out very early. So, and we got back about 1 o'clock or
It
so.
looked amazing. It
Yeah,
really
so
looked
it
good.
was, it was, it was really good. So, but we have a lot of events coming up because, summer's here. It was teasing us for a long time. And I'm
Hmm.
hoping that those cold days are behind us because this 80s, this 85, 2, 3 days in a row, we don't want to go back into to the cold until September.
Yeah, and like today's the perfect day because it's sun. There's a little bit of nice breeze and everything, so it's
Hmm.
nice. So, what kind of activities are coming up in Rhode Island that people should be taking advantage of?
Yeah, and please get a pen because I feel like there's a lot of stuff that whose dates you think you plan your summer, and then the next thing you know, these things are right up on you. So I do have
Hmm.
the dates. So we have Rhode Island Pride coming 6/15, so June 15th. So that's next month. Of course,
Exciting.
Juneteenth is June 22nd. We have Culture Fest June 28th. You have the Cape Verdean Festival July 7th. Puerto Rican festivals, July 21st, Dominican Parade. Oh, they don't have a date for that one. And the PVD Fest is in September, September 6th.
That's the whole summer, and that's just a snapshot because there's so much more coming up. But
There'll be
those
a whole
festivals,
lot. Hmm.
yes, and you're gonna get some food. I'm gonna be out there for the food. Okay, the Cape Verdean festival, I definitely want some cachupa.
Hmm. Hmm.
The Dominican festival, I want some bacalao. I'm trying to think of what other
I'm
things did
surprised
you
that they
say?
have
Pride. I don't know what the delicacies are at Pride, but I just kind of want to go out there and just wild out with the people and celebrate.
but
And
they're
I've
gonna
never been
have
to
every kind of
Pride
food
out
truck
here.
out there. Every kind of food truck is gonna be out there.
Yeah.
So there's going to be a combination of like all of that at all of them,
Hmm.
and that's what I like. One thing I can say about Rhode Island, I love most of their food trucks.
True.
They're eclectic. And then the summertime, I remember before COVID, Kennedy Plaza would have like three or four,
What's
food
that
trucks.
silver one that's always out there? It's like a fixture out there right in front
Oh,
of.
that burger one, but yeah, that comes
Yes.
every night. I can't think of the name of that. I think
I
that's
can't
like
remember
a
it
Rhode
either, but
Island staple.
kind of delicious. And their shakes are, they have like a bunch of unique, they have a lot of different kinds of burgers. So they have a very extensive menu
Okay.
and they have some really unique shakes. Can't remember the name of it right now, but they're
Oh,
usually parked
Rocket?
they're parked right outside of City Hall
Oh, you're
Plaza.
talking about the silver one, but Rocket is another good burger truck. I love
And
them.
you know how I am about burgers. Like I'm not
Mhm.
just gonna eat any old kind of burger. The burger has to be bussin' for
Burger
me. Yeah, I'm not just gonna eat any old burger. So
Yeah, yeah. Rocket has a really good burger. I haven't tried. I think it's called Haven.
I
Haven's
think
Truck
you're
or
right.
something
Hey,
like
it's
that.
Haven sounds right.
Hmm.
Yeah, so that's another good one. But yeah, no, I'm excited for summer in Rhode Island because there's a lot to do. And honestly, people are talking about going to the Cape. I'm like, why? When Newport is right
This
here.
is true. This is true. But
You
I
go over that bridge
hate.
and you're there.
And it took me a long time before I even went out to Newport after I moved here, and I do love it. But I think I need to go out to Charlestown because, like I said, there was a lot of little shops
Those
and
coastal
like
towns are
vintage,
cute.
yeah, it looked like vintage stores too and antique stores. They had a lot, and I just didn't get a chance to visit any, but I definitely want to go back. There's a
Have you
lot.
ever been out to Jamestown?
Yes,
I
yes.
like Jamestown too. So
Mm-hmm.
there are some really nice towns when you start going along the water, like really
Mm-hmm.
close to the water and near Newport. So lots to do, and hopefully you'll see us at some of those locales too. We'll have
Mm-hmm.
some video us eating some fresh sandy seafood.
It's funny because I do have some video of. I think I sent it to you. The video where when we're coming up on the female troll, and then
Yeah.
a two dogs started kind of going at it. It scared the hell out of me. So I'll post that, but without the sound because I was a little shocked.
Were you saying some inappropriate things,
I think I
Shavy?
just one inappropriate thing. It scared me. I was like, "Oh shit!"
I think I heard that part. I think I
I was,
remember hearing that very
I
distinctly
was gonna
too.
send it to my parents. I was like, "Oh no, I think I know I cursed in that one." So you know how they are. So what else is going on? Oh yeah.
Well, May, we're wrapping up May. It's going to be Mind Your Business Monday when this episode comes out, May 27th.
Shout
Shout
out
out
Lisa.
to a princess queen, my daughter, who will
Hmm.
be turning, we won't say her age, but her birthday is Monday. So my beautiful daughter, Alicia,
Tomorrow?
she's a Memorial Weekend baby. Her
Oh,
birthday is tomorrow,
oh, happy birthday
Monday,
to
May
her.
27th. So
Hmm.
that's happening. But also, we're wrapping up, coming to the end of Haitian American Heritage Month, AAPI, Asian American and Pacific Islander Month, as well as Mental Health Awareness Month. So, of course, we celebrate those things all year round, but I love a good spotlight and they deserve them. So,
Hmm.
definitely Haiti's still in a little bit of turmoil right now as a nation, but, you know, we all know that, you know, America has people from all over the world, but here in Rhode Island and as well as in Massachusetts, Haitians represent. So I'm glad that they got a chance to have their own Heritage Month and
My
Asian.
sister-in-law is Haitian.
Okay, all right, Sakpase.
Oh, let me tell you, she had a graduation dinner last week. Was it last week? Yeah, I think it was last week. And her mom made this dish, and you might know the name of it, but it looks like coleslaw.
Oh, pickles, the spicy one.
Damn. Okay, I thought it was coleslaw. I love coleslaw.
Oh, not you
My
eating
dad
it
and
like
I
coleslaw. It's a garnish. That's a
a bit
garnish,
no.
girl.
And this is what I said to her. I said, if we're going to be having multicultural events, we need to start labeling stuff with instructions.
So we are part of a very exclusive club because I too have a Haitian sister-in-law. Shout outs to my sister-in-law Bianca Amaya. She actually has a mom who also makes some really incredible food, and they broke my heart when they moved to Florida. Not because she took my brother down there, but because
Okay.
her mom ain't cooking for me no more because they're not having stuff here. But so her mom makes this a really, really amazing dish called lambi, which is
Mhm.
conch, but it's
Okay.
Haitian style conch.
Mhm.
This lady is the queen of lambi. I'm
Mhm.
telling you, amazing. Her black rice, incredible. All of her
Yeah,
food. I should just be pulling up on this lady like, hey, you need someone to drive you to church and just have coming to her house and eating every Sunday.
that is hilarious. Yeah, Jen's mom, she does it. She always brings like a Haitian dish or something. So she definitely has expanded my horizon because you know how I
Okay,
don't
so
like
I need to be
nothing.
invited to the family barbecues.
Okay, all right. But let me tell the story though. So of course, my dad and I, we both of us are huge coleslaw eaters. You know, my dad usually makes the coleslaw. And I'm telling you, when I took like a big forkful and put it, and the sad part is Mia was sitting right next to me. She knew what it was. And
And
she
she
said,
just let
"Oh,
you do it.
no, because I thought you knew what it was. Ma'am, you saw me take that big forkful and put it in my mouth, and my whole nostril just started just running
So
because,
do you know what a Scotch bonnet pepper is?
oh God, no. What is that?
Well, now you do, because if you ate
That's
that
what's in
pickles
it?
like that, that's it's like one of the hottest peppers. So if you're from
Oh,
Haiti, if you're from Honduras, you're eating this when you're like 2, 3 years old. It ain't no thing. But
that stuff
if
is
you're not
hot.
used to that level of pepper, it can be a problem.
Yeah, that stuff was hot. So I was like, okay,
It's so good though,
but it
in the
was.
right quantities.
So it's a, you say, and I know Mia was telling me too. It's a garnish. You usually put it on top of a piece of chicken.
Like on you can put it on protein, you can put it on
Mhm.
rice. It's a pickle, but it's
Yeah.
pickled with a pepper inside of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, it was delicious.
But it looks like just carrots. So I could see it maybe like maybe a little bit of cabbage. Is that what it looked like?
Yeah, because it looked more like coleslaw to me because it was like, white. It looked like white cabbage, and a little bit of green, and then red.
Okay, yeah. So that
Hmm.
red tinge, that orangey tinge.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So
Mm.
yeah, and
Yeah, that's pickly girl.
she
That's spicy.
actually said that her mother tried to add in more slaw, I guess, to kind of
To
even out. Well, how was it tasting before?
so I'm telling
It
you,
had
as someone
melted
who
my brain.
my mother makes this stuff. It's not called pickles in Honduras. It's just like,
Mhm.
we just pickle. I think they call it encurtido or something like that. I don't know, but my mother makes it. So she had a friend come over and she told this lady, please use this sparingly because it's spicy. Now my mother gave the warning shot. This lady's like, no, I like spicy. I like spicy. She had to leave the house. She had to leave mid dinner because it was so spicy and she couldn't handle it.
Yeah, I can see that. That's something. Anyway, so yeah, that
Yeah.
was that was my foray into
Thank you,
Haitian
but
food
thank you to the Haitian community for bringing us delicious food
and
because
a wonderful
that's
sister-in-law because I love her to death.
yes, yes. Shout outs to those Haitian
Hmm.
sisters in law. And then Asian American Pacific Islander Month. I actually went to an event earlier this month down on Causeway Street
Hmm.
at the Big Night Live. That was
Okay.
a celebration. It was a kickoff. So funny story. I when I first saw it, it said the NAAAP. I was like, the NAACP is having an Asian American. It was not. It was the
Uh-huh.
NAAAP. And so I went, and so of course I was the minority in the room. It was mostly Asian
Hmm.
Americans of all different. I met so many incredible people, and I made like really great connections.
Hmm.
So I brought my best friend Tracy. She was my plus one when we went down there. So I think maybe I saw two other black people in the whole room. Let's say there were 200 people there.
Hmm.
And then we met this other guy who's an influencer. His name is Kevin. He's on Instagram. And he was just like, what are you doing here? I was like, why can't I be in these spaces? I'm an ally, okay?
Okay.
Just 'cause I don't look like, I'm not the ally you were expecting. I'm the
Hmm.
ally y'all got. So, but it was so much fun.
Yeah, that
It was
sounds. It
really
was at
fun.
Causeway in Boston. Oh,
Yeah, it was at Big
okay.
Night Live. So
Yeah.
it's like in where the garden
Yeah.
is, but
Hmm.
it's a venue. It was just like an after work thing. I actually went there on representing Big Sister of Greater Boston.
Hmm.
So I was just, out there mixing and mingling, rubbing shoulders, met some restaurateurs, some business people.
Hmm.
I met Kimchi Poppy, who has a restaurant in Brighton,
Hmm.
really great Korean food. So it was a cool event.
Oh, okay. That sounds interesting.
Yeah.
And then, of course, mental health awareness, and that's a lot.
Yeah,
That's
it
the
is a lot.
heavy one. That's the heavy one for
It
everybody.
is, and it's just shocking to me that people out here still denying that they need need help. Like there's so much help to be had.
Yeah.
And even if you're private about it, there are apps. There's so many apps. There's
Hmm.
so many medications, so many conversations you can have with your doctor, virtual visit. Like there's no reason if you are going through something mentally, I shouldn't say there's no reason because people have their apprehensions or what
Hmm.
have you, but there's help out there. There are resources.
Yeah.
So, and I'll post resources for Mental Health Awareness Month on our page as well. And just go out there. I love a good therapist. I've actually been in therapy since I was in middle school.
Really?
Hmm.
I didn't go until I was an adult. And I feel like it's one of those things that, most people think, oh, you'll go and you'll be fine afterwards, but it's a continuous process, because you might
Yeah.
not need it one year, but you might need it the next year. Things really, start to build up and weigh on you. So I haven't been in a while, but I have been thinking, just dealing with the outside. Am I, I want to make sure that dealing with external factors, that I'm okay internally, because there's and I actually had this conversation with my PCP not too long ago. Internal, like in my home, I'm happy, but there's a lot of external stuff that makes me nervous, makes me anxious, makes me very
Yeah.
worried. How we're going, how we're flexing in this world right now. And America is just on a lot of trash bullshit. It really is. And so it's been stressful for me. So I have been thinking about it, just learning or relearning how to cope with those external factors that, weigh heavy on me. Because you can't,
Yeah.
no, you can only ignore things for so long. And then I don't want to
Yeah.
be like a lot of these other people out in the streets, because when you see some of these videos of people not minding their business, touching people, pulling on people. I saw a man pull off a woman's hijab in the airport, and thank God for this black woman and this
Her
black man.
hijab?
He pulled it off her head.
Are you
And
kidding
because
me?
he was saying that she looked like she could have been from like Sudan or something, so, and I think it was a UK airport. And I'm like, audacity the audacity to not let somebody just be, because you have an idea that this woman might be against Israel, because that's what he was basically saying. So
Are you
you
serious?
literally pulled her hijab off and said that she was not welcome in that
Oh,
country.
he's the welcome committee. He's the self-appointed welcome committee.
But that black woman and that black man checked him. He got all. First of all, he did that to that woman, and then the black woman started recording him and saying, she was British black. She was recording him and telling him how vile and disgusting he was. And you seen other people just standing there quiet, and she was there by herself at that time. And then, of course, he got really brave and got up in her face, and two brothers came out of nowhere. And of course he backed down immediately. He did end up getting arrested, which is good to know. But yeah, so you dealing and you seeing those type of things, and it's just like, yeah, I might need therapy because I might slap a motherfucker.
Yeah, that's that he needs water. He needs therapy and then some more.
Yeah.
But yeah, there are a lot of things, and what I'm seeing in our age group is that people our age are on dialysis. People our age are having heart attacks. It's and you know what I think it is? I think it's unresolved stress in the body is part of it. Some of it's hereditary stuff,
Hmm.
but I think there are unresolved anxiety issues, and after a while you're so tight, you're wound up so tight that your body starts to respond to that. And I think a lot of ailments and illnesses are either triggered or are due to unresolved mental health issues.
Hmm. Very good point.
Yeah.
I have very good point, and I feel like, especially when you talk about like unresolved in your body, you might think that you're dealing with something because you're not dealing with it, and you think that's the way to go. But just because you're ignoring it doesn't mean that your body is. and it can.
There's a term
Mhm.
that someone coined. I believe it may even be a book. It's called "The Body Keeps the Score." So it's like you're, like you said, you're thinking you're getting over, like, oh, I'm the water off of a duck's back.
Mhm.
No, you're burying stuff. You're burying it. You're burying it until then. What then? You pop off.
Mhm.
You know, you just you
Or break
snap. Like
down, or
it's not good.
yeah, yeah. There's a
It's not
lot.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I see, and I feel for some of these children that I see as well, because if we're not mentally fit and if we're not
Mm,
taking care of ourselves, mentally, and like you said earlier, you can do this privately. Basically, everybody has a phone or and access to the
yeah.
internet. Those
Yeah.
you really, most people usually do. And I know people want to scream poverty, but people scream poverty for things that, but not for things that they want to do.
Right.
You have poverty for everything, but things that you really, really want, you find a way no matter what. And so those are some of the things, like um, uh, being able to, connect with a doctor, whether it be in person, on video, or whatever. People need to, make those plans to do so.
And if you pay for health insurance, find out what your benefits are. I
Yeah.
so during the pandemic, my employer that I was with during the pandemic, they paid for me for free because of the pandemic. I got free counseling, free therapy.
Mm.
So I got that for a whole year for free, and then they came off with a free. And I loved my therapist so much. We came up with a payment arrangement. I was like, all right, sis, this is how much I can afford to
How,
pay you,
how can I keep
and
you?
now I was paying her out of pocket. Then when I changed employers, I got a different insurance. She didn't take that insurance. I was like, okay, well, it was nice knowing you. Let me see what else is going to happen out here. Because my employer currently pays for therapy for me. My new employer pays for therapy for me for free again. So you may even have this as a benefit at your
Yeah,
work.
I don't even know if I have that as a benefit. I need to check. Like.
It's definitely worth looking into. And y'all out here trying to get Ozempic and you paying the specialist copay for that, you better go get that therapy.
Oh, she said the word. She said,
They don't got no more. They don't got no more. So y'all going out here paying to go get in front of people to have that conversation.
"Wow, they don't have any more."
And they're sending letters. They're sending letters out in the mail. So I got actually a blip in my thing because I was going to see like the weight management clinic because I was like, I'm a woman in, of a particular age, and I'm starting to see the pounds come back on. So I was like, let me schedule a weight management clinic appointment, whatever. And like I said, super high copay for the specialist, and they sent me a letter. Basically, here's what the letter said. I'm gonna translate what the letter said. Do not waste our time if you trying to get Ozempic because we don't have no more, sis. So they were like, if you want to come in here talk about how to eat properly, if you want to come in here talk about alternatives, that's great. But I forgot they were a list of they're out of Ozempic, they're out of something else because they need to save this for people who are actually using this as a life saving technique who are
Yeah,
diabetics
yeah.
and really need it. But people out here trying to get Oprah color purple skinny, you know.
And people are not looking good with it. I mean,
I mean, my thing is like, okay, lose the weight, and that's its own medical condition. Obesity is its own medical condition, so I don't take it lightly if people need to
mhm,
lose weight. I definitely am out here trying to lose weight. If they were going to give me those Ozempic, I'm gonna
mhm,
take it, but they don't have anymore. I'm just telling you what the
yeah,
people told me. But I say that to say, if you can pay the copay for that, you could pay the copay for your therapy.
yeah. That is true. So you are okay. I have to circle back to what you said. So you're going to a specialist to
Uh
create
huh.
a
Yep.
diet. So what kind of specialist is that?
So it's the weight management
Weight
clinic
management.
that I'm going to. So it's going to entail
There's a
like,
clinic called Weight Management Clinic.
so it's in my healthcare
Okay,
providers
okay, got it.
offices. Yeah, it's not
Yeah, I thought maybe
like a
there's a
pop-up
weight
shop. No,
management.
no, it's within my health complex where I go to see it's in
Okay,
the same place where I see my primary care doctor.
okay, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, and where I see my GYN, it's all in one place. So it's a division. It has its own office, which I was shocked. So when I went up to the office, it had its own title on the door,
Hmm.
weight management, because this is such an epidemic in our country.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, and I'm on the same train as you. Like I'm not happy at all with my weight gain. And people are like, oh, I don't even know. I notice. I notice and I don't like it. And
Hmm.
so it was, I don't know, yesterday I finally changed the batteries in my scale.
Oh, don't talk about that scale.
And all I need to feel better is 10 pounds. And one of the things, like you ever watch the 600 Pound Life?
Yes.
Okay, I love that show. I really be rooting hard for those people. But one thing that I have learned in the last maybe 2 years that I didn't realize when I first started watching the show is changing your mindset about food. And because I would look at those people like, how could you let yourself get that big? I still do have that question, and a lot of them do have trauma. But when you get to be like 300 pounds and then 400 pounds and then 500, I saw a man who was 800 pounds, 800, and
Yeah.
young guy, he wasn't even over 35 yet. And but he, young black guy, he was married, to this Spanish woman, and she was just like, our life has completely changed now where we're not having sex anymore, and you're gonna have to do this.
So that's food is their drug of choice. That's the way I look at it.
And it is, and he did. And to see him motivated and do what he needed to do to get rid of the weight, then they ended up adopting his sister's baby at the end. So I was like, it was one of those very feel good moments. But he
Yeah.
talked about, like, food. Now I don't have an addiction to food. I'm very grateful about that. But I think from being like, I was like 99 pounds until I was like 23. And then after that, I was like
Lucky.
100. So when you come from that mindset that you can just eat whatever you want, even if you're not eating health, too unhealthy anyway. I just know now, I understand the struggle that people have said about losing weight. It is not as easy as some of us try and make it out to be. Because me, I have been trying to lose this 10 pounds for the last year and a half and have
So
not
I
budged.
my the way my body tends to work is I lose weight when I'm not trying. When I'm trying, I can't lose jack.
Okay. Ugh.
So
Uh-huh.
weird like that. But it's like my body almost goes through its own phases. So
Mhm.
I have a feeling like no matter what I do, even if I was on like an extreme diet or something, there are times when my body is ready to lose weight and times when my body is ready to gain weight, and it does what it wants. So now I have to figure out how to manage that. But what I will say is during the pandemic, when people were complaining they were gaining weight, I was so fit. I was like walking all the time.
Mhm.
I was in better
Yeah,
shape.
I
I
didn't
was
gain
cooking
weight
all
during
my
the pandemic
meals.
either.
I didn't order any food. I didn't
Mhm.
order any outside food. So that's the biggest contributor, I think.
Mhm.
I mean, some of it is age now, but the biggest contributor is consuming food that I don't know exactly 100% how it was made. Because everything that tastes really good to me probably has too much butter, too much
Mhm.
dairy, too much caffeine, too much sugar. Those, all those things that in the moment they're so gratifying, and I'm a potato chip monster
Mm.
as well.
Mm.
So
I
I
think
will eat a
mine
whole
is,
bag, like a big bag of Lay's.
uh-huh.
I will eat that for myself if left to my own devices.
I'm not into the salty. I am definitely into the sweet. A good cake with some good frosting. I'm there 100%. But I really think most of mine is age at this point. I'm
Yeah.
I'm 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 in menopause. That's one. And
Hmm.
I've done the research where it says that, women in menopause, you just gain that weight automatically. And it is, and my doctor had kept telling me, she says,
My GYN said that to me, and I'm like, boy, you lying.
she said, you're in perimenopause now, and if you want to lose weight, you need to start now, because once you hit menopause, it's going to be very difficult for you. Okay, okay, okay. And I am
It's
struggling
trash. It is
to
trash.
to
I see we both have our Apple watches, right? So we both over here trying to get the little circles closed and what's not and competing with the other people.
I do that, and it works sometimes. But you know what's so funny? So I was saying this earlier that I forgot my watch yesterday when we went for the walk in Charlestown, and I'm like, damn, this is not going to count, and that made me
Right. I know that hurts. You're like, well, if I can't, if it didn't record, it didn't happen, right? It
right,
didn't happen.
exactly. So I'm like, it did. I cannot believe I forgot my watch at home, and I
I
do that
know. I
sometimes.
get
And
salty
it's
about that
almost like
too.
you don't want to do the walk. I was like telling Jen, I'm like, I don't even
Right.
think I
I
should
might as
go.
well just go back in the house.
But no, I am making a very conscious effort, and you know what?
But I
I,
have a suggestion for
accountability,
people.
accountability, both of us.
I have a
Partner.
suggestion for people
What?
who are trying to lose weight. So when I was doing my walks, and I was actually in a weight loss challenge, I would listen to a whole podcast
Hmm.
and I would walk the entire time I was listening to the podcast.
Hmm.
And at that time we didn't have a podcast out. So I highly recommend people listen to our podcast because you're going to get a minimum of 45 minutes to an hour exercise if you walk to us or run to us. But that's what I did because I hate the thought of exercising. It pisses me off. But if I don't feel like I'm doing it, because I'm just walking while I'm listening,
Hmm.
or I'm walking while I'm looking at giant wooden trolls,
Hmm.
then I'm not really exercising.
And it isn't. And I try and keep it. And I walk every day. But I think my body's actually used to the walk that I usually do, like at work when I go to work. But I work 2 days remote, and on those
Hmm.
2 days, sometimes there's like no action on my watch. No action. The only action is getting is standing up because I'm not pushing myself. Like at lunchtime, I'll definitely go for like, a 30-minute walk, and it'll be a brisk walk or whatever, and not move the ring. But I've decided to up my walking to an hour in the morning. So I'm starting to go like between 6:30 and 7 to do that walk. Then I can get
In the morning,
in the
people.
morning and then one in the evening. So I get two
Shahida likes
hours
to
of
get up early.
walking every day.
That's awesome. I applaud you for that.
And then of course, like the food thing has to change up too, because eating, 4 baked potatoes is just not the way to go.
I'm mad though, because I want to eat what I want. But anyway.
But I feel you can, and I don't want to restrict myself totally either, even though I did give up a lot of cakes and cookies and stuff because it's just so full of sugar. So I was like, I just need to cut down on the amount of sugar that I'm eating. So
Yeah.
instead of having cake 3 times a week or 4 times a week, I'm having it just one time, once a week.
That's a start. That's a good start. So I'll keep you guys posted. I had the weight management first meeting with her Friday, and I'm gonna go back and see her again.
Hmm.
So what I will say is that they don't give you instant gratification that first day. It's not like, oh, here's your shot, here's your pills or whatever.
Hmm.
They do a thorough consultation of you to make sure, figure out what's causing the weight gain, things
Hmm.
like that. So, and I trust my doctor that's handling this. She's actually a Latinx woman,
Hmm.
and she looks like she's on her game. So
Okay.
excited to see what options she has for me.
Well, we can definitely go for a walk in the evening, girl.
We need to do that. We can have our business meetings
We
on our
can
walk.
walk downtown from your house.
I would walk downtown.
Okay.
I
All
would
right.
do that.
Plan that a couple of days. I'm sorry. What are you looking for? Look at the pink thing on the other side. I am sorry. I will cut this out. That's daring. I'm like, he's
You might as well
oh
leave it
little.
in.
He's like, look,
This is real life,
you
people.
know,
These are the things that
when
happen.
you have a grandson, it just be all in your stuff. Under there, there's that pink. Yeah, there should be some pens in there.
He just wants to be on the podcast.
He getting
It's okay.
his hair twisted.
Okay, here
Me is
twisted,
doing it.
cute at 13.
I don't know how he talked her into that one because them two.
Little twisted hair, little cologne.
Let's not talk about that cologne, girl. What's the next subject? Let's not talk about that cologne.
Oh gosh. Okay, what do you want to do? You want to talk about uh Amber Rose first or Kelly?
Let me just say one quick thing about Amber Rose, and she's not the only one. So Amber Rose came out and she endorsed Donald Trump. Okay, and her reasoning is,
As if someone was looking for her political opinion, but continue.
and I'm going to give you my reason why that she did that. So she came out, endorsed Donald Trump because she's she is a fighter for women, and don't believe everything that you've heard. She believes that Donald Trump fights for women. Now, he's he rapes women. I know that much. So maybe she
Mm.
meant fight them for them that way. I don't know. And then if you look at what the Republicans want to do as far as birth control for women, um, Roe v. versus Wade, and he brags about it all the time that it was him that put the justices on the court to get rid of it. But she can wholeheartedly say with a full chest that he does more for women, and I'm tired of celebrities who don't know anything or are out for a grift, because I feel like you said, nobody was checking for her. We haven't heard about her in a good while. And remember, she did her you don't remember, she used to have these walks called the slut shame walk, because so many Republicans were coming after her when she was dating Kanye, and the way that she dresses and her bald head and all this other stuff. And so she called it this empowerment that she was trying to give women to be able to dress the way that they want to dress. Not one Republican supports her in that effort, because they don't want women. They want women to dress like handmaidens, you know.
Mm.
But you can say, and with a full breath, that you want this man to be the president, and he doesn't care or respect about a woman's autonomy of her own body. He doesn't care about if women are dying, because of lack of health care and birth control. You got a governor, Youngkin, and what is this, Youngkin in Virginia, who wants to get rid of all of the birth control, specifically the day after pill. And he's like, we're going to get rid of it in this economy. Well, get rid of this in legislation, but then we're also going to go all of the drugstores and make sure that they can no longer sell that in the state of Virginia.
And
So,
then they're arresting people, they're fining companies if they're out
and
here doing this.
doctors,
Do
it's
you understand what a gift from God the morning after pill is? A
a
gift,
gift,
okay,
a gift that you.
from God.
Yeah. But that's the thing. They want to keep. You want to take away education in schools. You don't want children to have rights to certain books that you deem might hurt Johnny's feelings, or books that you might say are pushing a LGBTQ lifestyle. You don't want to have them educated, but you want them to keep making babies. Then you have the representative in Missouri who says that 12-year-olds should be able to get married. So tell me, Amber, which part are you for? Which part are you for when you say that this man is fighting for women? Because
And
I don't
she's the
see it.
mother, she is the mother of black children. This is the thing that burns me, and she alleges to be a blackish woman
She
as well.
does at times when it suits and is convenient for her.
I don't. I honestly, it's a joke to me, and her opinion means zilch to
Yeah.
me. I don't know who of her fan base is actually going to be taking her advice on this. It just seems like a ploy to get in the spotlight,
It
because
is.
no one literally is talking about this lady. She tattooed her face the other day, and we already forgot about that.
Oh yeah, I did forget about.
No one cares.
Yes.
No
No,
one
I
cares
hope
who
not.
you're voting
I
for.
hope not.
No one cares what you like. I don't. I'm not saying she's a stupid woman, but I also don't consider her to be an intellectual or someone that I would take political advice from. So she can say whatever. I really don't care what she says.
Agents of chaos.
Matters not to me.
Agents of chaos.
But someone's opinion that I do kind of care about a little bit is Kelly Rowland. So when I see people bothering my good sis, Miss Rowland,
hmm
especially at Cannes, when she's out there tearing up the red carpet,
hmm
and people are trying to just hate on her, that upsets me very much. So if anyone had seen, it's been all over socials this week. Cannes Film Festival was happening. Kelly Rowland arrived in a gorgeous dress with an, a long, gorgeous train. And one of the security officers, a female security officer, was giving Kelly a hard time. And we couldn't hear what was being said. There are lip reading experts who have their own take on what was being said. But essentially, this woman was rushing Kelly Rowland off of the red carpet when Kelly was just trying to get her photo opportunity. It's Cannes, like they are there to promote movies. They are there to promote their careers. They are there for the press. They're not there to be rushed inside of the building for whatever reason. I don't know what the reasoning is, but Kelly wasn't the only one she did this to.
Yeah, I
But
saw who the
like,
other woman was that she did it to. It seems like, I mean, it's supposed to be for celebrities, right? And it's supposed to show off their outfits, and that they're being paid by these designers to show their outfits. So why are you disrupting that?
I kind of wish then some of the designers would sue. That would be really great. Like
You
sue
know
the
what? What
security
if those
company.
celebrities decide just not to come next year? What would you
Right.
have if you decide to make all these women, and I only seen it happen
And
to
why
women,
was it?
three women.
I only saw women of color being harassed.
I did too, and I didn't want to say because I'm like, okay, maybe
Well,
I
I'm
didn't
gonna
see
say it
everything,
because
but that's all I saw.
I did not see who's out here these days. Scarlett Johansson. I've never seen them
Mhm.
do her like that.
And then what made
So I
me upset is how they tried to pin that angry black woman trope on Kelly. It's like this woman has never been problematic ever since we've known
no.
her. Quiet, graceful,
But
never a
she is
problem.
getting older. She's getting into that phase of life where enough of the bullshit.
But
Enough
this
is
woman
enough.
was just too aggressive with her.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know?
And so Kelly forcefully, I think she tried to tell her calmly at first, like,
She
hey,
did.
I'm taking a picture. And then Kelly was like, listen, don't make me come out of my element. You could tell it started to get really heated. And the other actress is a Dominican from Dominican Republic actress named Maciel Taveras.
Hmm.
And she actually called Kelly Rowland a queen because the same thing happened to her with the same
Same woman.
guard, from what I understand. And she was just saying, like, this is it was outrageous behavior. It was uncalled for. And I'm not one to say, oh, if you're a celebrity you deserve special treatment, but they are there to promote. Like, we're just coming off the Met Gala. That's literally the whole thing. No one even knows what the hell happens inside the Met
Yeah,
Gala.
it did.
We know the red carpet.
Exactly. And
So
that's what I'm
for
saying.
us,
And
for
we
the
know the
fans,
stairs leading up to the Cannes Festival.
right.
So why?
So for Can, I don't even know what films are in Can. I wouldn't even be talking about Can if it wasn't for Kelly Rowland,
Yeah,
if it wasn't for Maciel Taveras, if it wasn't for these gorgeous women in their fashion, I wouldn't even be paying attention to Can.
yeah, that was a mess. Anyway, shout out
Anywho,
to Kelly. We got her back.
we have your back, cousin. Y prima, mi prima Maciel.
Mhm.
I got you. Yo tengo tu espalda también.
Okay, okay,
But
okay,
I'm
okay.
rocking my Afro Latina shirt today, so I'm feeling extra spicy.
Okay. I just got on a sweatshirt because I just got out the shower.
But I love the cap.
I
I
just
do love
I
the
got my
cap.
yellow cap on today. That's coming up. That I don't know what
I
I
know.
think it's in June, but it's in Houston. Get your
Another
tickets.
party we're not invited to, but it's fine.
That's okay.
It's
That's
okay.
okay. I
That's okay because
stay
you
in
know
my
what?
lane.
One of the Aleshas doesn't want me at their activities, but there's another Alesh that's always like, "Come through, sis."
Okay,
you know
okay.
who that is?
I know who that is.
Dr. Alesh over at Marigold.
I love Dr. Alesh, but go ahead. Tell us about you
So I
today.
went to so if you follow the podcast or if you heard this episode, we went down to Marigold. It's a black owned, black doctor run dental office in Pawtucket, Rhode Island. The entire staff is women of color, from what I can tell. I haven't seen any men working there, but it's a BIPOC staff. I don't think she discriminates against who she hires. It just happens to be that's who's working there for her, and it is black owned. Anyway, long story short, Shahida and I were like, oh, we're going to get our teeth cleaned. It's going to be cute, blah, blah, blah. So we got our teeth cleaned. And to me, teeth cleaning is, it's kind of mild on the spectrum of dental services. But when I got my cleaning, they identified that I needed one of my fillings repaired. and they invited me to come back to have my filling repaired. So I'm used to my dentist that I had been seeing in Hyde Park for years, like over 15 years. I've been going to my former dentist. So I was a little nervous about, because every dentist drill is not the same. Their
Mhm.
drill activities can vary, right?
Mhm.
So I was like, Lord, please, like, I'm gonna put my faith in Dr. Alesh. I trust her. She's a
Mhm.
professional. I'm like, but Lord, I was scared. I ain't gonna
Oh,
lie. I was
really?
scared.
Okay.
Yes, because I know what I'm used to, and
Okay.
I'm used to. I know what I'm used to.
Yeah.
So to go to trust in a new dentist, because I had that experience before. I went to another dentist and it was horrible. And
Mhm.
she was a woman of color at that. She was an Indian or maybe Bangladeshi
Mhm.
woman. She butchered my mouth, girl. When I tell you, it was a
Uh,
nightmare. So I was apprehensive about going to a new dentist for that level of service. So I got there. I got, of course, I got the warm greeting and the welcome. I got the nice boxed water.
mhm.
Barely waited 5 minutes. Everything was done, check in smooth, right? Get into the room. My name is up on the screen. It's like
Mhm.
I'm at the Apple store. I'm like,
Mhm.
okay, this is groovy. Then the dental assistant offered me a blanket.
Okay.
And I took
I
it.
didn't get a blanket, Dr.
I
Alex.
was like, give me my
Uh-huh.
blanket. Yes. I need a blanket because I'm about to start crying and
Mhm.
sucking my thumb. So I got the blanket,
Mhm.
and then they offer you the option to watch television
Mhm.
while you're having your service done. So I opted to watch TV, hoping for a distraction. I was like, maybe if I'm watching TV, I won't be freaking out so
Mhm.
much. And then they gave me the noise cancellation headphones
Mhm.
so I could listen to the show. And then they have a ceiling TV, and they have a TV in front of you.
Mhm.
So when you're reclined all the way back, you can look up at the ceiling above you. So you're not missing a beat on
Yeah.
the show that you're watching.
Mhm.
So you're hearing it. They've got closed caption going. Oh, and that's another thing. I watched this really cute show called Act Your Age. Talk about that later.
Okay.
But anyway, it's about women over 50 living together, black women over 50 sitcom, very cute.
Oh,
It's
it's
on
a sitcom.
Paramount.
Okay, it's not a relax. Okay,
Yes.
I'm tired of reality.
So I'm watching it and I'm still sweating bullets. I'm like, yo, this is probably about to hurt and I'm going to be really
Mhm.
mad. I felt nothing.
Okay.
So they numbed me really well.
Mhm.
They gave me, I felt a little pinch when I got the, the whatever, the numbing
Yeah,
medication.
that needle.
So they gave me that. So the first needle, I felt a little pinch, and she said, "You're going to feel a pinch." The
Mhm.
second needle, I felt not, like she blocked the heck out of that pain, even better than the dentist that I was using in Hyde Park,
Mhm.
because I would still kind of feel a little bit when he was doing it. It was to the point where I was like, "When is she going to fill this tooth?" And she's like, "Yeah, I'm done." And then, you know what the icing on the cake
But
was? She put Vaseline on my lips
she,
at the end.
I, you know what? I when that happened, because I had to have a filling too. Not a Yeah, I had a small filling in one of my teeth because I had a slight cavity. And when she did that, it was before
That
she started and then after.
that's an
But
act of love.
that
That is a love language.
I forgot to even mention that, but you are so right. And when she did it,
Do
I was
you
like,
understand? Like, do you understand what I didn't want to leave? I did not want to leave. They were like, "Yeah, you're done." I was like, "So wait, I have to leave, to leave now?" They're like, "Yeah, well, we're fit. You don't have to leave, but we're done."
she's good. She's an excellent, excellent dentist.
Under an hour,
Hmm.
under an hour. And when I tell you, efficient, professional, clean,
Hmm.
and I didn't finish watching my show, so I really was like, I am not ready to go.
And with them being right there in Pawtucket again, I'm just one of those people. I
Perfect parking,
love Pawtucket, and oh, we need to
prime
go walking
parking.
over there because got the
Mm.
Blackstone Park right across the street. We need to go.
But she has won my confidence over
Hmm.
tenfold. I already was like really excited about her
Was it
and
because
what she
she's so
was doing
young?
there.
You were like, oh, because she looked like she's.
I was just afraid because I'm like, a drill is a drill, man. A
Mhm.
drill in your mouth is serious business.
She's really good. She's really good.
I felt
Everybody's
nothing.
very good there. I mean, and I had somebody that was in training too. And you notice a few little things for the person in training, but because they were so open to tell you, one, what they were doing, and two, if, oh, oh, I kind of made this mistake or whatever, or what, and then she was being guided by someone. I'm all for that. Whenever my doctor says, we're training somebody, because how are they going to learn unless they
How are
go
they gonna
do
learn?
it?
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
in certain incidents, I'm willing to be that guinea pig. But no, I found everybody in the office to be just so welcoming, and the whole aesthetic is just perfect. It's
It's
like you're
just
going
great.
to a spa.
I'm sitting here like, well, when am I coming back? I'm like, oh, I gotta wait till October, but I'm going back for my next cleaning in October. So
Mhm,
I've had a cleaning, I've had a filling repair.
mhm,
I'm gonna go back in for another cleaning. I actually was talking to my sons about switching over to her.
mhm. Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, she is. She's
yeah.
excellent. We
She's gonna be the family dentist for sure.
she's
Dr. Alesh,
she's
Marigold
the Alesh
Dental
that lets
Studio.
us come to her place.
The Alesh
Close to us.
allows us to we got to give her money. Well, we will have to give him money too.
I know. He was like, nope.
We have
He's
money.
like, nope. But we love Wale too. We do. We
We do love Wale. So if you've listened to the Wale Alesh interview and the Dr. Alesh interview, they are siblings, which we found
do.
out.
Hmm.
Pleasant surprise.
Hmm.
So we interviewed two people, did not know they were
Hmm.
siblings, and they're both just dope, doing dope
Dope,
things in
dope,
Rhode
dope. Yeah.
Island. I'm like, what do they have other siblings? Are there more Aleshas that we need to interview?
I don't know. I didn't know.
We need to look into this.
See my look at my watch and saying, get up.
Okay, well, before we go, we have two
No,
more
I'm
things
just
that we
saying,
do
like
want
my mom.
to mention. Well, no, that means you got to get up, girl. You've been sitting down for too long. So, two more things that I just want to shout out
Okay.
because this episode is going to drop on Monday, May 27th, national holiday, my daughter's birthday. But we have to shout out another May birthday, Craig Amaziah the Great,
Oh yeah.
one of the poets that we interviewed on our show a few weeks back. He's having a birthday celebration at Lit Arts RI on Wednesday, May 29th. It is free to attend and it is going to be amazing. It's going to be hosted by poets. I believe there are going to be some other entertainers and talents there. And Craig is just doing this for he's celebrating himself, he's celebrating the community, and he's not charging anything for it. So
Mhm.
if you can make it out to Rhode Island to Lit Arts RI, definitely come through and celebrate with him on Wednesday, May 29th.
And he is a transplant plant like us that really loves Rhode Island.
He does.
He
He's all
does.
over.
He is all over the place. So
He's all over.
definitely
And
go and
and
support him.
honestly some really amazing poetry, like
Mhm.
uplifting. After I hear one of his poems, I feel different.
Mhm. Mhm.
It sparks something. So, I'm excited. And Shahida and I will be in the building because we are also on the flyer. We're there to add
Mhm.
atmosphere.
Mhm.
And lastly, there's a comedy feud coming up. You have heard the amazing interview with comedian Lisa J. Got greater later. She started doing comedy in her 50s. She is hosting a comedy feud at Fat Music Hall here in Rhode Island. That's going to be June the 7th, and that's going to be in conjunction with comic Black Sav. So it's going to be good. So those are two things that are coming up. If you're looking for something to do in the next week, there you go.
Do you know if the tickets are all sold out for that?
I do not
I
know,
hope
but
not,
the
because I
tickets
have
are
to get a
only
ticket.
20 bucks. They're
I'm
only
gonna get
20
a
bucks.
ticket.
I got my ticket.
All right, I gotta go
I have
online
my
and get
ticket.
mine. I'll do that as soon as we're done. But yeah, I definitely want to go because a comedy feud, that sounds like just.
So it's Family Feud
Mhm.
comedy style Rhode Island style. That's
Mhm.
it's gonna be
I
great.
cannot wait. So great.
Yeah.
All right. So that is
So y'all know where to find us.
it.
Little State Big Voices, everywhere podcasts are heard, on Instagram, on Facebook, on TikTok while it lasts, and also on YouTube. So come check us out. If you want to leave comments, people have been saying they want to comment, but they can't do it on some of the other listening platforms. You can leave us comments on YouTube. We prefer positive and constructive comments, but if you got some trash you want to toss to us, slide through because I'm going to clap back.
All right. Well, on that note,
Just kidding, just kidding. I love
but
you all.
and then
We always
also
hear
check
some positive
out
feedback.
the troll pictures on our
Yes,
Instagram
yes.
too. I mean, I took some. And there is a couple that I have that you could really see the scale where I look like an ant next to it. I haven't posted those, but I will upload those so you can see them.
Yeah, and stay tuned. More fun stuff coming from us this summer. But until then,
All right. Have a good holiday Memorial weekday and a good work week, because then after that, it's hard on those Mondays when you have those holidays and you got to go to work on Tuesday.
that part.
Anyway, till next time, guys.
Until then.